No, honestly, that is nonsense. Nonsense. All nonsense.
They say many garbage things.
You don't know what you're going to get.
This is a shameful, disgraceful piece of nonsense.
He was miles off it yesterday.
You'll learn a lot more if you listen rather than talk all
Plenty
the
of
time.
time, no problem.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a No Nonsense podcast. Fresh off the news that Ten Hag has been sacked.
Yeah, we're announcing it here first before anyone else does.
Okay, that's that one. Fresh off the news that Ten Hag somehow still has a job after that performance. I don't know. It was funny watching it on Sky, as it always is when Gary Neville's on, because he obviously has biases. He's open about that, open about how biased he is, and you know, when you care about a club, you do kind of make your mind up about different players and different managers. And I think he probably has made his mind up about Ten Hag.
This was the one. He's never done this before.
But, you know, he has plenty of platforms, you know, but this platform, I was the co-coms guy, just call the game. He's talking about how much he spent through the summer. It was 1-0 down. I was like, all right, like, come on. Like, it's not really fair. It's not really appropriate, you know?
Yeah. It's like literally, it's like he has his own Man United propaganda wing to directly to the masses. Like, it's time to sack this manager now. And then everyone goes, okay, yes, Gary. Yeah.
And as I say, at the time of recording, he hasn't been sacked in the morning. It's afternoon now. So,
yeah. I
mean, I don't know. Will he survive this? Will he survive this 3-0 defeat or no?
Well, it felt like this was the one. This always happens, I think, when a manager's about to be sacked. You get the footage after the game of the fans sitting in the empty stadium with their heads in their hands. There was like a 50-second montage of Sky. It's just there's a feeling, you know, when it's happening.
Yeah.
But also he got the dreaded vote of confidence from the board yesterday, where they said, look, he's not being sacked just yet. We've got Porto this week, Villa at the weekend. We'll see after that, which, as we talked about many times, it's over. When you have 3 games to turn it around, generally you win one, lose one, draw one. You might last another week, but then you're gone. That's what happened to Ollie.
It's the start of the end, really.
Yes, exactly. You know? When it's like, we'll see after these games, rather than, no, we're with him till the end.
That's the thing. As a casual fan myself, you see people saying like, sack him. Who do you get? You know, it's like, I have no idea, but probably somebody better, you know?
Yeah, exactly. The new manager bounce will be better than what we have at the moment. I don't know if you saw that beautiful graph going around from The Athletic comparing the start of the last 3 seasons, where each season we've gotten progressively worse while getting in better and better players.
Just before we blow past that, because you mentioned it, I was going to probably forget about it. What do you make of the people in the stands afterwards?
Oh my God.
Who are just, because I saw a tweet like, these must be the biggest attention seekers in the world. You know, you lost at home to Spurs, get over yourself. You know, go to the pub like everybody else. I was like, it is a bit dramatic, like, because it's not the Champions League final. You know, it's not like the last day of the season of the league. To sit there in the stands, you do kind of, you know, there is a self-awareness, I think, generally. Like, you know, that clip we played, was it last week, where somebody made fun of Carragher and it's like, there's the clip. You know?
Yeah.
Like, there's a painful kind of self-awareness of like, oh, this is all content. This, like, if you're sitting in the stand like that after the game, you do kind of know, I'm going to be memed, I'm going to be on Sky Sports, whatever. I mean, do you think that they're actually that devastated about losing to Spurs? Is it that much of a moment, or are they just kind of...
I don't know, because it's such a weird one. Because even it felt like this after the game. Because even as the game was going on and it was like 2-0, 3-0, I was like, oh, well, another crushing home defeat. These happen all the time.
Yeah.
But it felt different. There's always one that feels different. And for Ollie, it was losing 4-0 to Watford. It was like, okay, this is over. And like, there's just a feeling. So I think when you are probably like season ticket holders, you're probably just fucked up of it. You're just like, Jesus, I can't face going to the pub to have these conversations again.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. You know, well, how about this? Maybe should they bury those feelings and just go home, take it out on their families, maybe passively aggressively?
It is funny though, the music video of the sad people in the stadium, because it's like, it's good TV and it looks good. It gets the point across. But there is a part of me that's like, Leave them off, Sky, will you? Like, the game's over. Why are you filming the fans?
Yeah, they're too depressed to get out of their seats. They're like, look at these pathetic people. Their weekends are ruined. Probably their whole lives. Their whole pathetic lives are ruined after this.
Oh, yeah. It was a bad one, though. It's another in a series of bad ones. But it feels weird this time because normally there's always like an excuse of like, sure, what can we do with these fucking Egypts at the back or this fella in midfield? It's like, the team's actually pretty good now. Like, everyone on the team is like, he's a good player. So it's just totally a new thing now. It's like, okay, this is just the manager, though.
Yeah. How many Ugartes do you think it would take to stop people running down to the middle of the midfield?
This is the thing. It's like, what's the point in signing the players then if your tactic is basically run madly at the ball in 2 passes and everyone cuts through you? Arnie Slot told us this weeks ago.
Yeah, it was. I'm like, we're a bit harsh to blame Rashford for this one, but when he lost the ball, like when Rashford lost the ball,
I'd fucking pull out of that chat. If Van de Ven is running towards me, no way I'm going into that 50-50.
Of course, but it was, like I said, they were streaming forward. They lost the ball. I was like, all right, well, I'll let the defense handle this one. You know, like,
yeah, Dallo thought, I'll let Onana handle this one.
Everyone was like passing on to the next guy. Surely someone else will stop him. You know, that's not explicitly my job, is this? You know, like there is kind of a sense of like, you've a go. There isn't kind of, you know, playing the percentages of like keeping possession and maybe, you know, if someone's away, maybe they go and we'll catch up. Not every streaming forward and then not tracking back. Yeah, okay. The odd time one. I think he's literally the fastest person in the league, Mickey Van de Ven. I think he was clocked.
I think so, yeah.
He was clocked going the fast anyways. I think it was like him, Nathan Collins, and like Bennett were like top 3 there for a few months. But like, you know, it was just a devastating run through like 4 or 5 players, and nobody saw the danger. Like, I need to get across him and maybe, you know, not dangerously foul him, but like
pull him down.
Stop him to a point that he, you know, take the yellow, you know, but he just kept going. Exactly. It did remind me of a goal that Vertonghen scored against United years ago when he first came. He had a similar kind of what's the centre back going to do? You know, where's he going? Where does he think he's going? And then, oh my God, you know.
No one's really marking him, so you kind of have to let him go.
Yeah, sure, he's looking for a pass. He's not going to, you know, do this all on his own. Dano left your man, Brennan Johnson at the back. He got, apparently, I don't know, he got apparently abused after the Arsenal game because he was so bad in it and he's not at this level. And he's turned it around now, Brennan Johnson. He's got like 4 and 4. Yeah,
he deactivated his Instagram because of the abuse he was getting, and then immediately his form just soared through the roof, which might be a sign of something bigger. Not just Brennan Johnson. It might just be like, maybe get off that, lads.
Imagine where we'd be as a society as a whole if everyone just deactivated Instagram. Follow us on all socials, by the way. Just while you're at, before you deactivate, give us.
You're not footballers, lads. You can do it. You've got the time.
How about this? Follow the page, then just delete the app. Don't deactivate.
Yeah. We just need the number. That's all, really.
Yeah, just get the bad stuff out of your brain, but follow us first, and then you can be Brennan Johnson. You'll score 4 and 4. It was funny as well. I think I mentioned watching on Sky because it wasn't a great performance by Man United, you know, disgraceful, as Gary Neville said. Again, I think we're
over and over, yeah.
But they kept just bringing, it was genuinely like watching Man United TV. They kept talking about times when Man United beat Spurs. It's like, as they were losing to Spurs. Like, I remember a certain 3-0 halftime result, and a certain right back sitting beside me got one of the assists for the goals. You know, like, what was that, 20 years ago? 25 years ago? Talking about when you beat Spurs 20 years ago while you're losing 2-0 at the moment. It was insane. And then afterwards, of course, it was all like about how bad Man United were, not about how good Spurs were. But I think it's because we've watched Spurs be bad, so it makes it even worse when you lose 3-0 to them. Yeah,
and like at this, it's always just, this is the ultimate game for Sky when it's like a total Man United collapse in a big game.
Yeah.
They love that. That's their favorite thing because that is, as we know from this podcast, the majority of the listens are like on a big Man United episode. Like that is where the audience is. Either it's Man United fans or it's people like gleefully enjoying the downfall.
Yeah, hate watching it.
Yeah. But oh my God, it reached outrageous level. Like Gary Neville was literally he was out of control for the whole game. Again, like you said, in the first half, he was already talking about the transfers and the finances and this and this and this.
Yeah.
God, shut up, man. Like, the Glazers are gone now. They're not in charge anymore. I don't care anymore. Now we're just bad on the pitch.
Yeah. I heard a thing that the Glazers have made all the money back that they put into the club by selling that bit to Jim Radcliffe.
Mm-hmm.
Like with the dividends they took out over the years as well, that they're whatever money the club makes for them, they're in the green. Like there's nothing.
They know what they're at.
They're pretty smart people. They are.
What do they care if Man United never win a league under their ownership? Like, they never cared about Man United at all. It's good business for them.
They are really good business people. I give them that. You know, they've turned something very hard to make money in professional sports ownership, and they've really done it. They really
Because that's
money on it.
Most sports owners are like, God, we need to turn this around. How are we going to fix this? They're like, just don't. Who cares?
Yeah, a lot of it is like a new way to win for those business people.
Yeah.
I think I'm not sure if it's still one of his goals, but I think it's one of Gary V's goals is to own a sports franchise.
Oh, the Jets, isn't it?
Yeah. So, but that's not because he wants to make money. He already has money. If you buying sports clubs, franchises, you know, you already have billions. So it's not about making money. It's about how can I win in another way. But for the Glazers, they saw an opportunity here to make money, and by God, they've done it.
Yeah, I mean, it is funny when you think of like Ratcliffe coming in and like that whole argument between him and would it be him or Qatar? Both of those options, the answers were the Glazers stay there and people give them money and they no longer even have to look at the club, really.
Yeah.
It really worked out for them.
How can I subcontract this whatever little I
dork,
do?
who cares?
Yeah, because I saw he'd made more cuts, Radcliffe. That's because before the joke was like, what were the Glazers doing in that corner? You know?
Yeah.
Now it's like, I can't believe making people go back to the office hasn't made Anthony a good player. Like, he keeps sacking Kitman. He keeps
everything.
The match day lunches was one of the real scandalous ones because he said, "Oh, it's okay because the food from the corporate section they never eat all of it. So once they're done, have at it." You know, just like
have the scraps.
literally have the scraps from the bourgeoisie. You know.
Well, yeah, it's like you mentioned there. That new thing now is like, oh, I can't believe this new never-ending board of director hires hasn't fixed Anthony. It's like that is the biggest. I think Ten Hag's biggest black flag is these signings, and like I think all the players he's got in are good, but he's just everyone we've got in is actively made worse as time goes on to the point then where they're like, right, well, you can't play Anthony anymore. He's on the bench. Like
Donny Van de Beek. Is he gone to Girona? I think I saw.
I think so. Yeah, I think he's went there for like €2 million.
He was good. When
Yeah.
he was at Ajax, came into Man United. Remember the loan to Everton? I mean, geez, he was worse than Dele Alli.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
It was just incredible to see his career just like completely fall off a cliff. Anthony is the one that you mentioned. I'm sure you've seen the clips from at Ajax where he looks like a passable footballer.
Yeah.
You know, and now it's just like...
Where the thing he did worked. He always scored that goal.
Yeah, maybe it's just that people are faster and stronger in the Premier League and it just doesn't quite translate. But yeah, a lot of the signs he's made haven't really worked out. And I think it happens, not all the time, but a lot of the time where you like, there's a player there that you clearly don't fancy and they go somewhere else and they're great for a game or whatever, and no one watches the games every week, so they think that was a mistake. And like the latest example of that is McTominay scoring that goal for Napoli.
Yes, seen that.
Where it's like, he could always score goals, you know, but they had Bruno Fernandes playing in that position. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, like so you could put 10 Ugartes in there, and I think it's still people streaming down the middle of it because, you know, it's just every attacks at once and no one gets back, you know?
You know what's bad when there's so many of these lads on Twitter, like the Ten Hag era, or like lads with Ten Hag pictures.
Yeah.
But literally, lads who've devoted their whole lives to be like, I love Ten Hag. I'm kind of Ten Hag, basically. And they're like, what are we doing out there?
I'm Ten Hag, basically. Oh, God.
I don't know if you saw the people who are what had happened after the red card. Where before the red card,
Yeah.
it was the usual Man United, just kind of run around, try to get the ball, try counter.
Yeah.
But then once we went to 10 men down, they were like, right, time to press, man on, everyone. Like,
Yeah.
well, they've won more than us.
Yeah. And Spurs are decent, you know. I think we've seen them play like mad tactics for a really high line. And that's how Postecoglou wants to play, mate. Until I'm manager, that's how we're going to play.
Yeah.
Which I thought at times like, oh, he wants to get sacked. You know, you can't be saying that.
Yeah.
I will not change. I'm rigid in that. I will not be doing anything that I don't want to do. Unless you sack me, of course. No, never mind.
Maybe next year.
But yeah, they are good players, and if you play into their tactics, it works like a treat, you know. So I don't know. It wasn't a good plan to press man on man with a man down. But what about the red card? Well, when you saw it first, what did you think?
Well, when I first saw it from the broadcast TV angle, I thought, oh my God, you start to kill him.
Yeah.
Because I just saw the foot like flying and then Madison rolling. But then like on the first replay, you're like, oh, it's so obviously an accident. He slipped. And even though his foot is up because he's kind of just lunging while falling, he fucking doesn't really do much damage at all.
No.
So like I get the idea that's like the intent, which is what it usually is, but it's like, well, that wasn't the intent. Like, are you not allowed to raise your leg?
I think the intent was he slipped and he was going to go by and went, fuck that. And
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Whoop.
stuck a
I'll
leg
take
out.
the yellow, I'm sure he said.
He thought I'll take. He probably thought I'll take a yellow for this because if he slipped, say, if he hadn't stuck a leg out, Madison would just like walk around him. It looked very foolish. So it's like, I'm just going to try and stick a leg out. Just stop. The equivalent of like sticking an arm out and grabbing the shirt. You know.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
That's the kind of thing. But it was obviously with the foot, and yeah, when you slip, you're going a bit faster. It looks like you hit him knee height with your foot. You know, which is like that's not good.
It's unfortunate as well because when you do slip, when you first see it, it's like, oh, he lunged into that.
Yeah,
it's like, no, he was actively trying to stop falling. There's the accident of or the opposite of a lunge.
Yeah, my favorite thing was that they were obviously talking about this at halftime. Weird lineup in the Sky pundits. Ashley Young, current player for Everton.
What the hell is that about, by the way? You can't be doing punditry while you're playing.
Because he was saying some mad shit too about like how bad they were. Like, you have to play them again, you know?
Yeah, they're going to do you, man.
Darren Bent and was it Jim Redknapp? I think it was Jim Redknapp.
I think it was Redknapp, yeah.
Spurs representative, Man representative. But yeah, he said, yeah, it wasn't a bad decision, but it was a poor decision. And I thought, what does that mean? What's the difference? Are they synonyms? What is that?
Yeah, I literally don't know what that means.
It was like, it was a bad decision, Darren. It wasn't a bad decision, it was a poor decision. Which is my other best bit of punch I can remember from Graham Souness. I think was when Yohan Cabaye signed for Crystal Palace from PSG, and they were talking about before the game, and someone asked Graham Souness, "Is Yohan Cabaye a top player?" Said, "He's a top player. He's not a top player." I think it's moved on.
You'd miss Souness around the place, wouldn't you?
No, you know, there's at least I get that one. There's a top player maybe. Does it go beyond the best player? You know, there's a hierarchy there you can understand, but poor and bad, like I say, they're just synonyms. That's sure.
Yeah, they're both be the same thing.
But yeah,
it was strange seeing. It was strange seeing the yearly absolute total Man United home collapse, but without Roy Keane saying he'd push the players up. It was odd. I don't know why they didn't get him on. It feels like he's kind of going full-time podcaster these days.
Hey, it's a lot easier, I'd say, than TV work. You know, you don't have to prepare at all. You just kind of come on and shoot the shit.
Only talk about things you want to talk about.
Yeah. So tell us, Fergie in the 90s, what would you really like? every
prick.
Every podcast that Gary Neville and Roy Keane are on. So listen, whatever signed first, what was he like? They're just going through all their guest Fergie years. It's great. That's much more enjoyable than having to watch Man United lose to Tottenham at home. That's
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I'd be slowly tapering off. I think Roy Keane is quite quitting from Sky Sports.
I think so as well. I mean, there's no way, I'm telling you now, there's no way Darren Bent and Ashley Young were the first names called for that game.
No, Darren Bent especially feels like a stand-in because I've never seen him on Sky Sports. No, he's on Talksport all the time. He already has plenty of work. I'd say someone said, Darren, Roy's quite quitting. He's only doing his contracted hours, he says. He's not doing anymore. He doesn't have to.
Yeah, Carragher said he's not arsed doing a Tottenham game.
Yeah. Maybe they just thought they're not going to lose to Tottenham. We'll save the big dogs.
No way. Because I think you always, there's a red alert from Man United playing saying they might lose it. This could be big.
It did seem the whole thing was a bit subdued. You know, like say, it was Sky Sports aren't even doing the hate watch, getting all the reaction of people on. It's you've lost even the shock factor of Man United losing. You're really going downhill.
I mean, I saw so many tweets and stuff from people being like, it used to be a case of like, ha ha ha, Man United lost. Now it's like, oh, it's been such a joy that Man United are so bad for so long in my life now. It's like it's becoming used to the idea more and more, even though it's been happening for years. But I think people have finally accepted it's like, oh no, they're just terrible and they always will be, I think.
Yeah. They have kind of become Liverpool in that sense. We didn't remember Liverpool winning league titles. Well,
Exactly,
1989, the last one they won before the last one. We weren't born, Will.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like what, 2013? What age would you be? You'd be 10. You'd be 11. 11-year-old now. You don't remember those days. You know? So obviously you'd have to go another few years to not remember them winning it. But you are getting to that point where there's people who are starting to watch football who never remember them being any good.
Yeah, they've won an odd cup here and there, and they're mostly shit.
Yeah, same with Liverpool used to win the FA Cups, and they won the UEFA League in 2001, and they won the Champions League in 2005. But then it was 2019 till they won the actual league. So like, there's a great. I don't forget your man. There's he does the Guardian football comics every week.
Yes, yeah.
And when they won it, and he's talking about all the years of hurt with Liverpool and showing all the cups and leagues they won, or the UEFA Cups, the Champions Leagues, and all the FA Cups. Like, oh, it's been hell, you know. It's like,
yeah.
Most of the clubs don't win anything ever, and Liverpool like finally the dark days are over.
Well, I was thinking this as well. It's like we've talked about this before, where it's like now they're just a normal club. It's like the manager's been here 3 years, won some things, it's kind of fizzled out, it's time to go. And people are kind of like, Man United, utter chaos. Like, they're just like everyone else now. It's like, that is pretty much how it goes for most clubs. You might win something here and there, and then eventually the manager, they just doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, but you don't often get to sign 5-time Champions League winners, you know.
That is true, yeah.
You don't have the hope that Man United have every year. You don't have to, well, maybe this is the one, you know. Maybe this is the signing that'll unlock it all, you know.
Finally, Ugarte.
I love that they signed Ugarte. That is insane. Well, I have to say, we're outside of a PSG podcast, we're the only people who are talking about Ugarte ever before this. And then people are just like, he's the man. It's like, this was a bit we were doing 2 years ago. He's not.
I did see someone saying that if Ugarte costs 60 million, then I must cost at least 10. There's no way a man is worth 50 million euro more than me.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you're worth what someone paid for you, you know.
And again, it's the system, Carl.
The system, yeah. No, I like that you need 10 more dimensional fielders to stop like some Mickey Van run through the middle of you.
Yeah, and he did another run later in the game where it's like, I think Garnacho was playing to try to catch them on the break. You know, maybe they'll do the high line thing today. That'd be really helpful for United, I'm sure they thought.
Yeah.
And then there was one point where Garnacho was fucking flying down the wing. He had the ball on the break. Van de Ven was miles behind him. He just caught up to him. He's too quick.
Yeah.
So it's like, right, well, there goes that plan. So then you're done. That was your one hope for the game, I'd say.
Yeah, no, he is absolutely rapid. Kind of like Kyle Walker. You know, if you make a kind of a mistake, your pace will get you out of like 9% of situations.
Yeah.
You know, he's a huge asset to Tottenham. I think when he's not there, Romero looks a bit more reckless than usual because there's no one covering their blushes, you know. So it's a huge for Tottenham to have him back. Fucking Udogie went off though again. Had him on a fancy team.
This is the worst week of fancy I've ever had in my life.
I was like, because I saw him going down holding his tie. I was like, oh no, don't go off. And he stayed on. And then it's like, there's no way he's coming back out after half time. And sure enough, who was it? Only the sixth Spence comes on. I hate that guy, you know. Jed fucking Spence of all people had to come on for my boy Udogie, you know.
Yeah, I think I got 28 points this week. It is an absolute horror. Again, it's the type of result where I would be sacking myself if there was a fantasy manager where they rotated for the teams.
Yeah.
I'd be gone. That would be great as well. That'd be very entertaining.
I think I saw a few people did the wild card, but I was like, no, I can't, because you know what? There's only 2 weeks to the international break.
Yes,
but you know what? I should have now. In hindsight, I did terribly again. But yeah, I think the main reason I did terribly was because I think I got 26 points. I think Cole Palmer got 25 points on his own. And if someone had him captain, then, you know, forget it, I'm blown out of the water. So,
yeah, gone. Those 50 points you'll never get back.
Yeah, Cole Palmer continues to be really, really good. is he better this year than last year, or is Gareth Southgate an idiot?
A question as old as time.
As old as 2018. Is Gareth Southgate an idiot or a good manager? Hard to know.
If future Man United manager you're talking about, he'll be in next week, I'm sure.
He should have struck while Aaron's hot there. I don't know. I think the longer time goes on and players like Ollie Watkins and Cole Palmer continue to score goals week in, week out. Like, wait a minute. We've won 2 Euros in a row? That's what people are saying.
I mean, this Cole Palmer fucking game was outrageous. He scored 4 goals in one half. We'll play the clip here, but did you see his interview after the game?
No, what was that?
An incredible first half. I mean, you are the first player to score 4 in a Premier League game. I mean, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, it's a good stat.
This guy is insane. He's a psychopath, I think.
Yeah, he's ice cold, Will.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, because they did a little bit of. I watched Match Day last night, Match Day 2, and they did kind of a rundown of all, like a montage at the end of all the players who scored 4 goals. It's an insane list of like the best players ever in the Premier League, and he just like so unmoved by it, you know.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think he gets the like respect he should because he's just such a weirdly like normal, quiet dude. Just doesn't say anything ever. And like not very flashy, do you know what I mean?
No,
but he's unbelievable.
Because you know you kind of think, well, City are fine. You know they don't need him, and they won the treble after he left.
Yeah.
But even still, it's like there are some players where it's like you do kind of move things around for them because he's still only 22. It does seem like a mistake to not have him in your team. If for no other reason than he's in someone else's team.
Exactly. Yeah, and like like. He probably won't be at Chelsea forever, so eventually he'll probably be at a team, or it'll be Chelsea who's directly competing with you for the title.
Yeah.
Like, oh fuck, he's banging in goals.
I think at this point, I think he's so good that like either he won't be at Chelsea forever, which is one thing, or you know, if Chelsea are competitive, it's because he is the one making them competitive. He is the center of that team. You know, I don't know if I see him as a Galactico, Will.
Yeah, I don't know if he's got the. Now, I will say the celebration goes a long way for him.
Yes, hey, we've discussed this at length. Yeah. Celebration is probably the A and the U of the aura, you know. But I mean, other bits of it is kind of just your demeanor, you know. You're kind of the little bit of arrogance, I think they call it. You know, you need a bit of that too to have some kind of aura. He's so unbothered, so unfazed by it that I don't know. I mean, I just don't see him in Madrid doing the keepy-ups. I just don't see him caring enough to do that.
I could see, do you know what, I think he's so good that I think he'll end up back at Man City. I think that's how good he is. Like really? That they might be like, now of course that all depends on how their trial and stuff goes, but I don't know. I there's something about Chelsea though where I don't see him there because they're always a few minutes away from the disaster. Even when they're fucking ripping it up and beating teams by 5 and 7 goals.
Yeah.
It does feel like, yeah, but you never know what's going on behind the scenes. Like, remember they were going to sell the club a few weeks ago and then they never mentioned that again?
Well, they started winning games, you know. Like, hey, hang on, everybody. There might be money in this for all of us. Maybe we're okay.
Whoa, stop arguing.
It solves a lot of problems, Will. You can do a lot of teamwork and team building stuff. If you're making money, hey, you know what? I'm actually pretty happy with how things are going. I just remembered, you know?
Yeah, and also, like, it seems like they've fallen into this plan, unless this was their plan all along, but they have so many players where. And they did so badly last season that they're in the Conference League this year. So they didn't even put Cole Palmer on the list for it. Like, just give him a week break every week. Like, that's huge. He's the only player in the league with that.
They didn't put him on the Conference League.
No, he's not registered for the Conference League squad. So he's just got a nice little break midweek every week.
I would say that's devastating for the Conference.
Oh yeah, huge.
If you're the Conference League social media guy, you're thinking, fuck, dude, he was definitely going to rip it up every week. That would be my week's work done, just Cole Palmer clips, you know.
Chelsea are playing Shamrock Rovers in a few weeks in the Conference League. Imagine Cole Palmer, what he would have done to them.
Oh my goodness.
They're playing like one of the Welsh teams as well. Like, he would have scored 10 goals.
Yeah. I mean, the firepower they have, I mean, they'd probably still play someone like Pedro Neto, who would destroy Shamrock Rovers or the unnamed Welsh team. You know, the subs they have of the bench, the starting team. I mean, we always thought, like, why is Caicedo playing so badly for Chelsea? What has happened to this man? They do have good players, and maybe now it is just all sticking. They've thrown it against the wall. And now
Exactly.
what's left is actually a pretty solid team with
Yeah.
loads and loads of talent.
Yeah, and also I think they've again looked into a manager who doesn't really give a fuck. Whereas, like, I think a lot of managers be like, "Oh, well, we can't lose Sterling. I want to keep him. And I don't want to do this." But he's just like, "There's 20 players here, and the rest of you are banished. Suck it up." I mean, that's the exact manager they needed at this point in time.
Yeah. Do we get an update on those banished players from Chelsea? No? Did they get
Sterling,
a move?
They're paying for Sterling to play for Arsenal.
Yeah.
Who else? What? Lukaku's gone to Napoli.
Yeah.
Who was the other ones?
I think Armando Broja, was he one that said you're not going to play?
Broja, maybe. Chalobah as well, I think.
Yes. Ben Chilwell actually got back in the team, I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
I think he played one of the games. I think as a defender, you're always going to get a chance, though, because they do tend to get injured a bit more than most.
Chalobah's gone to Palace as well for the season.
So they all got out. It looks like
the plan worked.
What about Robert Sanchez in goal, though? I mean, it is mad that they had 8 goalies and this is the best one.
The one they already had, yeah. It's just, again, that's the thing, though. Because they already have all these good players and they bought so many in, they can look into being like, oh, it was the first of the 8 goalkeepers that was good. But it's like, now they just have 7 lads. It's terribly unlucky for them. But for the actual, like, the league, say, it doesn't matter a fuck what their goalkeepers are saying.
Yeah. Now, however, Will, from that, I'm guessing you didn't see the highlights this game.
No, I did not see this game. I saw Palmer's goals. That was all.
Yeah. Sanchez threw 2 of the goals in. That's why it was 4-2. Yeah, I guess maybe the former club wanted to make a name for himself. He came running out of the goal, like on the edge of the box, trying to clear the ball, got nowhere near it, and the ball was wide open. I think he went off somebody's shoulder into the goal, and he was just like nowhere near it. And the second one, I think he tried to play it from the back with his feet and gave it to a Brighton player, and he just ran past him, kicking the goal. So yeah, they're not a perfect team yet. Is what my overall point was. You know, they're probably. I know they're near the top and they're scoring goals, and Cole Palmer's on fire and all that. But I think, yeah, they probably are still the 3rd or 4th best team. I think. Yeah. I mean, listen, to go from Conference League top 4, that'd be huge for them.
Yeah,
and that would be kind of a look. It worked. We're back in the Champions League. We've spent millions. They're all here forever. We're back. You know.
I mean, we've never considered this either. Like, we always thought all these 10-year lifelong contracts are like such a bad idea. You know, it's never going to work. But if you think about it, imagine these lads in 8 years' time, Carl. They're going to be like family. Known each other their whole lives.
People always say it's hard to get consistency with people playing together. You know, hard to get a kind of team going. But these lads are contractually obliged to play together forever. You know,
like literally. They got in 20 lads and they said, right, you're at Chelsea forever until you retire, and it's going to work or not.
Yeah, that's why it was a gamble. It's like, what if these players are bad and you want to sell them? No one's going to buy them on you. But what if they're good? Then you have them. You know, exactly. We never even considered that they might be good.
I tell you, they've really pulled a fast one on us. Todd Boehley's got it. He's got it up here.
It's so simple to think about it.
Yeah, but what if it does work?
But what if it does work?
And then, because I do think as well, their ultimate punishment for signing all these players and spending all this money will maybe a points deduction, but probably it'll be like, right, that's it. You're banned from signing players this year. Like, we have 50.
Yeah, that wouldn't be the best punishment, I don't think. You know?
No, that would help them, if anything. It's like, okay, we'll get to know the squad, so.
It's like they say, well, fines are just a punishment for poor people.
Yeah.
You know? But they might remember that, I don't know, I think it was true or not, but that famous John Terry story. Stick with Chelsea. You know, where he parked in the disabled spot. So, yeah, you can't park there. You're John Terry. I said, I'll pay the fine, mate. And he walked off. Apparently. Allegedly. That's
nice bloke.
Yeah. But like, you know, if you could pay it, if you already have those players, you can't sign anymore. It's like, okay.
Yeah, oh no.
That's what we knew you would do. You've activated my trap card. We activate Pedro Neto off the bench. Yeah. Chelsea are looking good, scoring out of goals. But what about Liverpool? Will they're good again, I think.
Yeah, I think, again, still too early to tell, new manager, but they are top of the league. So we're getting closer to knowing, are they good or not?
By the time second international break comes and you're top of the league, I think we have to say maybe they are good.
Maybe, possibly. Yeah.
Arsenal also won against Leicester. I feel the potential kind of. I think they were probably a bogey team for Arsenal for the last few years when they were in the Premier League. I felt like Leicester had their number a little bit. They went up 2 goals, pulled back in by 2, then went on to win 4-2. I don't know if you saw people complaining about it. I think it was Ndidi kicked the ball away, didn't get booked. He was on a yellow.
Arsenal love that one. That's a real bugbear for them now.
Well, when you set your stall like where everyone's rebooked, that plays for Arsenal. He kicks the ball away. You know, it's in their heads. They're waiting for someone to do it. But they win. And City, of course, they drew with Newcastle. I think were it last week or 2 weeks ago we were talking about. They never say anything to each other. They never say anything bad in public about each other. We really are casuals.
Yeah, it's funny because sometimes we'll say things and then immediately that thing will happen. And we're like, oh, we know that, like, we knew that was going to happen. It's not. It's because we're not paying attention.
It's because it's already happened.
This is all going on in the background. And we're like, no, I think Arteta and Pep never speak about each other.
Yeah, and a vicious war of words has started. Do you have any of the quotes there? Or I
have them all here. I've got the back and forth here because it all started when last week after all of the talk about Arsenal and the dark arts and how they were playing with fucking everyone in the box against City after the red card, which is funny. After Bruno's red card when they lost the game 3-0, I did see a lot of Arsenal fans like, oh, not so easy, is it? Maybe we should have tried when they're on the box.
You know what I do here? Nah, forget it. You don't want to hear about it. I know you don't want to hear about it.
But Arteta, it started with a pretty simple remark. He said, I prefer this reaction much more than someone clapping my back after the game and saying, oh, well done, you guys are going in the right direction. That's a bit of a pointed thing. Like, stop saying I'm mini Pep.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I hate that.
No one wants to say you've got them playing great stuff or like the moral victories or so. Maybe one's like, all right, well, I'm glad I have a job. The second year, you're very secure. It's like, nearly boys, you'll get him next time. It's like, all right, fuck this. You know, I don't want any praise for this.
And he was asked about some of the City players, and I think Pep were talking about how Arsenal are very good. They've gone great at the dark arts. John Stones used that exact quote. He said they're not a master, but they're good at it. And Arteta replied like, oh, I know all about City. He said, I was there for 4 years. I have all the information. So I know, believe me.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure what that means.
Well, when I heard that, I thought he meant that they do the same shit, by the way.
Exactly. Where do you think I learned all of this? Is what I got from it.
We talk about slowing the game down. We talk about standing over the ball, like which every good team does when you're trying to hold on to a win or that. You see the game out, is what you might say. You know, that's what I took it up as, but not everyone took it up that way.
No, it's very funny. I think this does speak to maybe the pressure going on behind the scenes at Man City or like how the trial might be going. Because Guardiola responded. He was asked about for a comment on Mikel Arteta saying that, and he said, next time, Mikel has to be more clear. What does he mean? He said he was here for 4 years and he knows exactly what happened here. Could it be related to the process with the 115 charges? He may know information about that. Maybe. I don't know. Next time, he has to say it more clearly. Instead of having clouds there, he needs to be more precise.
Yeah, nobody mentioned the charges, Pep.
No, they were talking about like getting yellow cards for tactical fouls and kicking the ball away. And Pep's like, oh, so we're cheating, are we? Everyone knows it's the charges, isn't it? You know all about the charges.
You want to talk about charges? You better get your lawyer ready. Make that ready before you say something publicly like that again. And next time, say it to my face, okay?
It does come across pretty damning, though, because he's like, I was there 4 years. I know everything. Pep is like, he's talking about the cheating, is he? He was there for all of that, so he knows about that. Yeah, I know.
You saw what Arteta responded then with that?
No, I actually didn't see another response. No.
Addressing Guardiola's remarks, Arteta said, I can repeat it very clear. I love Pep. I admire him, and I have admired him since I was 10 years old. I respect him profoundly. I am so grateful for everything he did for me and continues to do with me. I consider him a friend. When I said that I know him, is that I know how hard he works. I have not seen a human being who has worked as hard as Pep and the coaches and everybody at the football club to be consistently winning. And the reason they are there is because they maintain that hunger. And this is what I've learned. I cannot be any more clear than that. If you want, I can repeat it. But if someone wants to damage our relationship, that is not in my hands. The feeling is profound. He knows it, and the staff know it. Now, I didn't see when he said this thing. I don't know where the gun was pointed at him when he said all this stuff.
yeah.
But I imagine it was loaded because
that's too much.
that's either like crazy mind games. It was like, he's the best person I've ever seen in my life. He's like, well, then fuck you. No, not fuck you, I guess. But what do you mean?
That does read like a man who got an extensive legal letter this week.
Yeah.
Like, if you ever mention about your time at City again relating to the charges, we'll crush you.
Yeah, it's you know what charge number 76 is about, Mikel? The assistant coach. That's right. We know what you did, and we know that you know what you did.
Where do you think your wages were come, idiot?
Yeah, you think you're squeaky clean in this, pal?
Well, you do have to think as well, like selling Gabriel Jesus and Zinchenko to Arsenal. There was probably something along the line of those players being at City and going to Arsenal that wasn't good.
Yeah, it is like probably a bit annoying for Pep because when he came, 3 years ago, or I guess 5 years ago he came in, but like, yeah, when Zinchenko and Jesus went to Arsenal, there was no talk about like, wow, this could be the missing link for Arsenal. This could make them, contenders. It was like, wow, they're that low that they're giving them some of their better players, And no one thought that was a bad move. No one thought that was going to be anything. And in a way, it wasn't, But now it's like you're under a bit of pressure with the likes of De Bruyne getting a bit older. And then, Rodri goes down and now they actually are competing with you. And he's talking about, I know how they act. It's like, these fuckers, like,
I give you Jesus.
this is a team that has my former assistant and players I didn't want, and now they're telling me that they know me, they know what I do. But yeah, it's like I say, it's either someone being severely threatened or ultimate mind games where you just kill him with kindness and you say over the top nice things where he's like doesn't know how to react. Then it's like, right, well, I guess I'll shake his hand next time I see him and say you're welcome.
Well, it is funny because I do think maybe not even that Arteta was replying to that one. I think it might have been this comment from Guardiola during the week, which I just saw, which he might have been like, okay, this sounds like trouble. Pep said, Gabriel, he was asked about Haaland's behaviour at the end of the game.
Yeah.
And Pep said, Gabriel said it perfectly. This is a war. We are here to provoke the opponent, to push them. Guardiola then said, you want a war? Now we war. So maybe Arteta was like, okay, maybe getting a bit out of hand.
That's when he got the phone call.
Yeah, I'm going to kill you.
Just some fucking muffled voice just calls out the address for his kid's school and just hangs up. You want a war, bitch? You want to go to war with me?
Yeah, it says, you want a war? Now we war. What do I have to do? That's insane.
Yeah, that's kind of on the same vein as when they read back Alexander Arnold's quotes to him. I said, I can't wait for him to be back on the pitch. I want to see him very soon. Yeah. Where I'm going to kill. I do feel sad that the City Guardiola thing, like if the trial does amount to anything, and Pep has said he's probably leaving soon, he'll really be missed. I know he's turned the league into like a one-team league, but by God, he's entertaining. Yeah, no, he is, and I go back and forth where I kind of can't stand him, and some of the stuff he says in the post match sometimes it's like it's bullshit, like the one. It's when he's rattled though, it's so good. When he's rattled, then it's brilliant because he I think he hates losing so much. He really can't abide by it. He comes out with just mad stuff like this. And by losing, I mean the game not going perfectly for him. Yeah. A 0-0 draw with Newcastle, perhaps. Yeah. Like if they win 3-1, but he feels that, they wasted so many chances, he'd be absolutely snapping, So, he's great entertainment, but it mightn't last much longer. But cherish it while you can. Enjoy it, mate, We also had the Madrid derby, though, this week. Well, speaking of generational managers, Diego Simeone dressed as always like Johnny Cash. Yeah. That was a I guess it's always a ill-tempered affair. We'll say.
I saw it described as spicy in a Guardian article.
Oh, that's taken on a different term online these days. You gotta be careful with those kind of things. I was thinking actually about the name of this podcast. You know that meme, the Sean Dyche meme, the utter woke nonsense.
Woke nonsense, yeah.
No nonsense. There's probably people who tune in every week, new people, who go, finally, an anti-woke podcast. Because it's a no-nonsense podcast. They probably think, oh, this is going to be like...
It's sad, the title's satirical.
Just words change over time. In hindsight, we should have gone for something more steady. But yeah, sorry, I digress. The Atletico played Real Madrid, and Courtois, as you know, used to play for Atletico Madrid. Now plays for the rivals Real. From what we've seen, well, I don't know if he's that likable to begin with.
Yeah, anytime we ever bring him up or talk about him, it's normally like, can you believe this story about Courtois?
Yeah, so they were giving it to him at the back of the goal, the Atletico fans. It's a long tradition throwing things on the pitch in Spanish football. The famous cow's head, Figo, when he was playing for Real Madrid against Barcelona. This time, we don't know. We don't know.
Allegedly, yeah.
A plastic bag was seen being carried off the pitch, and supposedly it was fecal matter in there.
Is it the ultras fecal matter? Is it a dog's fecal matter? There's a lot of questions to be answered.
The game was stopped for like 15 minutes as they removed the...
Passed it around, like, whoa, take a whiff of that.
Was that human shit? Yeah, I think so. It's a big dog.
So before the game restarted, obviously there was the 15 minutes delay while they inspected the shit, I'm sure, and picked up all the lighters and various coins. And stuff.
Yeah, I mean the shit was just the tip of the iceberg, really. Everything else was thrown first, and then
it wasn't like that was thrown, and they were like, "Whoa, stop the game! What the hell is that?"
It was a barrage, a bombardment of stuff coming down, and I guess they ran out of stuff. So I have an idea. Give me that plastic bag.
Finally, I would get to use it. But the Atletico players and Simeone were desperately trying to calm down the Atletico ultras. Simeone wasn't happy with them. He said, they're ruining the game and all this.
They're ruining it.
They're ruining it. They're here and they're ruining it. And it said in this Guardian article I was reading about the game is like Simeone and Jimenez walked over to the Atletico end where a brief discussion took place between Jimenez and a man in a skull balaclava. So they're like, listen, Senior Ultra, we need you got call down your men.
Stand down. Yeah, I imagine he was the leader of the Ultras, which is pretty cool, I guess.
Where's Captain Skull? We need to speak to him.
There seems to be me on the pitch between Diego Simeone and Captain Skull.
Whose feces was that, Captain?
Listen, I'm not here by the feces. I don't want to find out who it was. Okay, we're moving past that. I'm prepared to do that. I just want you to stop throwing any more.
Oh, the beautiful game. It was funny as well before the podcast. I didn't even see this game at all. So the way you brought it up to me was, did you see the Atletico Madrid game? I was like, no. It was like, what happened? Good game. You said, you didn't see the bag of shit.
That's the main story here. Yeah. Let's be honest. Everything else is comedy around it. But I mean, yeah. It's funny because in Spain, they throw bananas on the pitch.
Yeah.
As kind of like you're a monkey. But, you're the ones throwing your own shit. I don't know if the irony's lost on them. I'm just saying, the people who throw the shit are definitely the same people who throw bananas on the pitch. They're definitely the same person.
Literally slinging their shit. Literally screaming and shouting.
You're beneath me. No, the Ultras, our Ultras certainly would.
Our Ultras aren't like that, no.
I mean, if it was to get that point, I think we'd probably have to stand them down. We'd have to have our own meeting with Captain Skull. But if you want to become an Ultra of this
if
podcast,
that appeals to you,
if you want to come in and ruin it for everyone else, there's a link in the description of the episode, and you can become. I think the position of Captain Skull is actually open in our Ultras. There's no one has really taken on that mantle yet. So if you want to join up, see if you can cause some mischief, start throwing bags of shit into the studio as we're recording.
Yeah.
Imagine we got a bag of shit to the window right now. Just, whoa. What is that, human shit?
I'd literally go straight to the guards.
I'd probably hop on live and try and sort out there. Will I'd connect the ultras. I'd be Simeone. I'd be going over there. I think, all right, we know it's a bad podcast. We know that.
We know we missed the Patreon episode last week.
Please calm down. Wasn't there that one? Was it last year where the AC Milan ultras were like reprimanding the players? Remember that?
Yeah, you see that, I'd say, once a season where the grown men get brought together by the ultras and they're just stood there getting pointed at and lectured.
Yeah, and they just kind of...
You should try scoring.
By people who I'm sure give real tactical insight, not just like, you don't want it enough. The ultras in Italy are completely different. They're a different level. Do you remember where the Napoli ultras stole the manager's steering wheel?
No.
Do you remember seeing this? I think they stole the steering wheel out of his car after the first season, and the next season they won the league, and there was like a presentation where they gave the steering wheel back, as if he still had that car or hadn't replaced the steering wheel.
He's been walking ever since. Yeah, I do also remember probably my all-time favorite ultras moment was watching the Napoli ultras demand the players' jerseys on the pitch after they won the league.
Yeah, who's that man who's
take it off?
naked?
Give me your shorts. Yeah,
yeah, that wasn't a friendly kind of. Can I have a shirt? It's like, give me your shirt.
This is the best day of my life. I want to remember it forever. Take your shorts off.
Give me your socks. I want to wear them.
I'm taking the grass too.
Yeah, you can keep your. Well, can you? Yeah, you can keep your underwear. I don't want them. That's about it. Well, I think really there wasn't a lot else that happened.
No. Do you want to do a quick breaking news from the past? See if Ten Hag is sacked.
Yeah. Quick Google search there for Ten Hag.
Ten Hag news. Not sacked, but according to Sky Sports, Manchester United bosses back Erik Ten Hag despite unacceptable defeat. That doesn't sound good. If you're backing him and you say the words unacceptable, you're probably not really backing him.
Erik Ten Hag is a broken man, in all caps, looking to be put out of his misery, body language expert says.
It's not sounding good.
Yeah, because he was asked after the game, you think about the sack. Maybe we should play the clip, shall we?
Yeah, will we fade out with his thoughts on what he's thinking about being sacked?
Yeah, we can do that. First off, Will, though, I want to say this week we will be doing an Ultra episode. And I will be reporting live from Barcelona, where I'm going to watch Barcelona versus Young Boys.
Not a bit.
For the first time ever, not a bit. This will be the first Champions League game I ever go to.
Yeah, that's sick.
That's my credentials as a casual confirmed there.
You should apply for press accreditation.
It's funny because I'm going over there not for the game, for other reasons, and I was looking at getting a ticket, and they're not in the Camp Nou because they're doing it up still. So they're in the Olympic Stadium, and all Olympic stadiums had the track going around, so you're fucking miles from the pitch. So I was looking at tickets, and I was like in the corner, it's like €70. I was like, fucking hell, I'm going to go and not see anything and be in the tour section. It's going to be fucking, such a waste of money. I'd rather, go to a museum, to be honest. I'd watch the game on my phone from the museum. But, and then the ones in the middle of the pitch were like €125
okay
each. I was like, fucking hell, man.
I don't like football that much.
Whoa, come on, man.
I only do a podcast, but Christ.
Is there Cirque du Soleil at halftime or something? What the hell is this about, And they played Monaco, I think, 2 weeks ago, and lost unexpectedly. And I went back onto the website just to see, maybe I'll buy them this time. And it was flash sale, 25% off.
Excellent. They're struggling, yeah.
Now they lost this week. They lost 4-2. So I'm kind of raging and buy it. I bet they're even cheaper again.
Yeah. You could have got one of those, like, the Ireland men's national team bundle packs. Where you get like 4 tickets for the price of one.
Yeah, well, it's funny because, we were talking about before about how they've sold off all their shit, like, to make money. And like when I went to buy a ticket, it was like, you can get the basic ticket. I was like, yeah, probably. Like, or basic plus. Like, basic plus. Basic plus allows you to pick your seat.
Oh.
And I was like, well, hang on. When I get in there, and I just pick a seat, is someone with basic plus and go, sorry, mate.
I picked this one. I like this one more.
Well, I don't have a seat though. I'm just kind of waiting for everybody else to. I have to just stand around and wait for. Is that everybody? Right. I'll pick these seats here at the back.
Up in the sky, perfect.
I'll be right at the back here. So, oh yeah, that makes sense to me. I should have got basic plus for an extra 35 quid, I guess. No, I'm being negative. I know I'm being some negative. I'm going my first ever Champions League game. I'm going to watch Lamine Yamal in the flesh.
Hell yeah.
Probably, hopefully beating young boys. Hopefully I get to see like a 4-0 win. It's going to be a great night out, But
well, it's a combo of both because either like a 4-0 win, you get to see all the stars score goals, or you get to see like one of the most crushing defeats in Barcelona history, and it all kicks off.
Yeah, like start booing, like start whistling, everybody else.
Yeah, imagine you got to whistle.
Oh, should I bring a plastic bag just in case?
Immediately throwing it at the young boys keeper for no reason and getting ejected from the stadium.
I'll throw it
by the Barcelona fans.
Just write a handsy flick on the bag and throw it down at them. Yeah, keep an eye out for me on Tuesday night, folks. I'll be in the crowd getting escorted out of the Olympic Stadium. Get a ban for life from all Barcelona events. So yeah, that's looking forward to it. We'll be doing an episode probably Thursday or Friday, I guess. With all the other news as well, but we'll be doing one this week. So link in the description episode. Sign up to hear all about that. Yeah, that's great. Well, I guess we'll leave it with Ten Hag.
What are you thinking about, Eric?
What's on your mind? What's on that beautiful bald head of yours?
No, I'm not thinking about this. I think we all made in togetherness this decision to stay together as an ownership, as a leadership group in the summer. And also we made the decision also from a clear review and what we have to improve as an organization and how we want to construct the squad. And they're all decision making in togetherness, but we knew that it would take some time because how the window went, some players late in, like now Ugarte, we have to integrate him now. Also, we had to make some improvement in organization. We still have to do with some injuries, also from impact players, and I think we will get better there. And yeah, we need some time, and we all there on one page, on one boat, together. The ownership, the leadership group, the staff, and the players group as well. So.